The time of the Judges was a dark and restless season in Israel's history, marked by cycles of sin, sorrow, and deliverance. Yet even in those turbulent days, the quiet work of God continued, weaving threads of hope through ordinary people. While nations rose and fell, and mighty men fought and failed, in the small town of Bethlehem a gentler story began to unfold, one of loyalty, love, and redemption. In the days when the Judges ruled, Israel wavered between devotion and disobedience, turning from the Lord to idols, and reaping the sorrow that followed. Then famine swept the land. Fields once heavy with grain stood barren, and hunger drove many from their homes. Among them was a man of Bethlehem named Elimelech, who, with his wife Naomi and their 2 sons, crossed east into Moab to find food. But there, sorrow found them. Elimelech died, leaving Naomi a widow in a foreign land. Her sons married Moabite women, Orpah and Ruth, yet both sons soon died as well. So Naomi was left with nothing, no husband and no sons, which, in those times, meant no future. When she heard that the Lord had again blessed his people with bread, Naomi rose to return home to Bethlehem. Her daughters-in-law set out with her, but on the road, she stopped and spoke to them. "Go back, each of you, to your mother's home. May the Lord show you kindness, as you have shown to the dead and to me." After many tears, Orpah turned back. But Ruth stayed with her. Naomi urged her again, "Your sister-in-law has gone to her people and her gods, go with her." But Ruth replied, her voice steady and full of faith, "Do not urge me to leave you or turn back from following you. Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God." Seeing Ruth's resolve, Naomi said no more. Together they walked on, 2 widows, 1 road, and 1 unseen hand guiding them home. When they entered Bethlehem, the town stirred with whispers. "Can this be Naomi?" She said, "Do not call me Naomi, which means pleasant. Call me Mara, for the Almighty has made my life bitter. I went away full, but the Lord has brought me back empty." In Bethlehem, it was the beginning of barley harvest, and though they did not yet see it, God was preparing a story of grace to unfold in Bethlehem. The morning sun rose gently over Bethlehem. Golden fields swayed in the breeze, and workers gathered the harvest. Naomi and Ruth had little to live on, but Ruth's faith did not waver, so she said to Naomi, "Let me go to the fields, and glean among the grain in whose eyes I find favor." And so she went. The field she entered belonged to a man named Boaz, a relative of Elimelech, though Ruth did not know it. She worked steadily, gathering what the reapers left behind. When Boaz arrived, he greeted his workers kindly, "The Lord be with you." And they answered, "The Lord bless you." Noticing Ruth, Boaz asked his foreman, "Whose young woman is this?" The worker replied, "She is the Moabite who came with Naomi from Moab. She has worked from morning until now with hardly a rest." Boaz went to her and said, "Listen, my daughter. Do not glean in another field. Stay close to my servant girls. I have told the young men not to touch you. And when you are thirsty, drink from the jars they have filled." Humbled, Ruth bowed low. "Why have I found such favor, that you should notice me, a foreigner?" Boaz answered, "I have heard all you have done for Naomi, how you left your home and family to live among a people you did not know. May the Lord repay you. May you find refuge under his wings." At mealtime, he invited her to eat with his workers. She ate until she was satisfied, and when she rose to glean again, Boaz told his men, "Let her gather among the sheaves, pull out some stalks and leave them for her." By evening, Ruth had gathered an ephah of barley. When Naomi saw it, She asked, "Where did you glean today? Blessed be the man who took notice of you." And Ruth replied, "The man's name is Boaz." Naomi's heart stirred with hope. "The Lord bless him. That man is our close relative, one of our redeemers." And so Ruth worked faithfully in Boaz's fields through the harvest, unaware that God was weaving her life into his greater story of redemption. As harvest ended, Naomi said to Ruth, "My daughter, should I not seek rest for you? Boaz, with whose maidens you have worked, is our kinsman. Tonight he winnows barley at the threshing floor. Wash, anoint yourself, and go there quietly. When he lies down, uncover his feet and lie there. He will tell you what to do." Ruth answered, "All that you say, I will do." That night, after Boaz had eaten and his heart was content, he lay beside the grain heap. Ruth came softly, uncovered his feet, and lay down. At midnight he awoke startled. "Who are you?" Ruth replied, "I am Ruth, your servant. Spread the corner of your garment over me, for you are a redeemer." Boaz's voice softened. "The Lord bless you, my daughter. Do not be afraid. I will do for you all that you ask. Though there is one nearer than I, if he will not redeem you, then as the Lord lives, I will." Before dawn, he sent her home with 6 measures of barley. Ruth told Naomi all that had happened. Naomi smiled and said, "Wait, my daughter. The man will not rest until the matter is settled today." And so, beneath the rising sun of Bethlehem, hope returned to their hearts, the quiet hope of redemption. Boaz went up to the gate of Bethlehem and sat with the elders. When the nearer kinsman passed by, Boaz called, "Come, sit here." He said before the witnesses, "Naomi, who has returned from Moab, is selling the land that belonged to Elimelech. If you will redeem it, redeem it. If not, tell me, that I may know." The man said, "I will redeem it." Then Boaz replied, "On the day you buy the land, you also acquire Ruth the Moabitess, the widow of the dead, to raise up his name with his inheritance." The man answered, "Then I cannot, lest I endanger my own estate and my children's inheritance. Take my right of redemption for yourself." So, before the elders, he removed his sandal, the ancient sign of legal transfer. Boaz lifted it and declared, "You are witnesses this day that I have bought all that belonged to Elimelech, and I have taken Ruth the Moabitess as my wife." The people of Bethlehem gathered in joy as Boaz took Ruth to be his wife. Beneath the warm light of blessing, vows were spoken not only before witnesses, but before God himself, sealing a union born of faith, kindness, and divine providence. The Lord blessed their union, and Ruth bore a son. Naomi took the child in her arms, her eyes bright with joy long lost. The women of Bethlehem that were present said, "Praise be to the Lord, who has not left you without a redeemer. May his name be famous in Israel." They named the child Obed, the father of Jesse, the father of David. And so, from the faith of a foreign woman, God wove the thread of redemption that would one day lead to a king, and through that king, to the Redeemer of all mankind. From the quiet fields of Bethlehem, God was writing a story greater than any could see. Through famine and faith, through loss and love, he turned emptiness into abundance. The child born to Ruth carried the promise forward. Obed, the father of Jesse, the father of David, shepherd and king. And from David's line would come another son, born in the same town of Bethlehem. One who would redeem not just a family, but the whole world. The story of Ruth began with grief and ended with grace, the story of a faithful God who never forgets his people, who restores what is lost, and who turns the broken roads of life into the path of redemption. Ruth and Boaz in the golden thread. From famine to fulfillment. God's story begins in emptiness. Famine drove Naomi from Bethlehem, and loss left her heart barren. Yet in that emptiness, God was already sowing the seeds of grace. He often begins his greatest works not in plenty, but in need, where faith must take root. Faith that clings. Ruth's devotion to Naomi was more than loyalty, it was faith in the God of Israel. Her words, "Your people shall be my people, and your God my God," mark a turning point in Scripture. Through one woman's steadfast love, God shows that faith is not bound by blood or nation, but by trust and obedience. Grace in the ordinary. In the quiet fields of Bethlehem, Ruth's humble gleaning brought her to Boaz's kindness, not by chance, but by divine direction. God's providence often hides in the ordinary paths of our days. Every step of faith, every act of kindness, may be the ground upon which redemption begins to grow. The Redeemer's love. Boaz, as kinsman redeemer, points beyond himself to the Redeemer to come. His protection, generosity, and covenant faithfulness mirror the love of Christ, who covers the outcast, restores the broken, and redeems what seemed lost forever. The line of promise. From Ruth and Boaz came Obed, then Jesse, then David, and through David, the Messiah. What began as sorrow in Moab became joy in Bethlehem. The God who redeemed Ruth's story was already writing the world's salvation through her. His golden thread runs from her faith to Christ's birth, from the gleaning fields to the cradle of redemption. If you found this video interesting and would like to explore more, we have several options for you. One is our free, multilingual, Bible-based Christianity course, a free 30-lesson video course covering all aspects of the Bible and daily life. Another is the Bible by Stories, a series of over 50 videos that takes you on a journey from creation to the early church. And if you have questions about Scripture, there is a multilingual chat system on the website where you can ask any question on scriptural issues. To access any of them, simply visit the website listed below. If we don't yet have videos or the course in your language, please email us at the address shown, telling us what you are interested in and your language, and we will do our best to create them for you. God bless you on your walk to His kingdom.